On the high passes of the Bernese highlands, where the Eiger has been throwing stones at the sky for 9,000 years, the December storms come with a sound the locals call Die Alte Mutter, the Old Mother. For 2 weeks in winter, the mountain speaks only in wind. In December of 2023, a 75-year-old hunter named Heinrich Berger was alone at his family's stone hut at 4,000 meters. The Berger family had hunted these slopes for 9 generations. Heinrich believed he knew every voice his mountain had. He was wrong. The storm had moved a serric wall. A column of ice the size of a cathedral had cracked from the northern face of the Eiger glacier and slid 200 meters down the slope. In its place, the wind had revealed a chamber of ice, clear, blue, and unnaturally cold. Inside the chamber, something was the color of dark bronze. Heinrich climbed up the slope before sunrise with only a lantern, his hunting rifle slung across his back, and a small leather flask of his late wife's schnapps. What he saw at the entrance of the chamber, he later said, made him kneel in the snow and cross himself in the old way. The University of Zurich sent a team 3 weeks later. By the end of January 2024, 11 archaeologists were inside the chamber. They counted 81 men. All were soldiers. All wore the lorica segmentata, the segmented armor of the late Roman legions. All were arranged in a single line, 10 men deep, 8 men wide, and every single one of them was facing east. The men were preserved as if they had stood up that morning. Their breath was still in the air, condensed and frozen on their armor. The bronze of their helmets had not corroded. Tree ring dating of the wooden halves of their pila, their throwing spears, placed the wood cutting at approximately 48 AD. They had been waiting in the ice for 1,975 winters, and the historians, when they saw the photographs, fell silent. Because in 48 AD, no Roman army was supposed to be in the Alps, and certainly not facing east. The man at the front of the formation was the centurion. He stood half a head taller than his soldiers. On his chest plate, a Falera medal bore the Roman numerals for the 9th Legion. The 9th, the Legio Nona Hispana, the legion that vanished from history sometime after 108 AD and was never officially explained. In his right hand, frozen at his side, the centurion held a cylindrical bronze tube, the length of a man's forearm. When the archaeologists carefully opened it in the laboratory at Zurich, they did not find a Roman scroll. They did not find Latin. They found a thin strip of polished bamboo, and, on the bamboo, 4 lines of careful brushstrokes in a script that no Roman should have been able to read. Before I tell you what the script said you should know, the ice keeps other stories like this. A 600-year-old monk, frozen upright in a Himalayan cave, holding a prayer wheel whose every page bore a single fingerprint. Subscribe so the archive can find you when it surfaces. The script was Han Chinese, Han Dynasty Chinese. The specific brush style was identified by a scholar at Peking University as the formal hand of the imperial court of the Han Emperor Guangwu, who reigned in northeastern China from 25 to 57 AD. The carbon dating of the bamboo strip returned a date of 50 AD, plus or minus 8 years. At the bottom of the strip, pressed in red cinnabar, was a single seal. The seal bore 2 characters: Han, Shi, Han Envoy. Han Dynasty was, at 50 AD, the eastern half of the known world. Rome was the western half. The 2 empires knew of each other only in legend. Roman traders called the Eastern Empire Ceres, the Silk People. Han historians called Rome Chin, the Great Chin. No official contact between the 2 civilizations was recorded until 166 AD, more than a century after the bamboo strip in the centurion's hand. 80 Roman soldiers frozen in the Alps, facing east, waiting for someone, with imperial Han Chinese orders in their commander's hand, dated to 50 AD. The history we were taught is not the history that happened. Heinrich Berger has refused every interview since that winter. When a young curator asked him what he was thinking, he answered only this: they were waiting for someone who never came. The 4 lines on the bamboo strip have still not been fully published. The scholars who have read them say they rewrite the first century itself. If you want to know what the ice gives up next, subscribe. The archive will find you. The ice does not forget. It only waits to be asked the right question.